This is an art collage novel video. I made this series so you guys can experience the story faster. The video will focus on the character's psychology, the images are for illustration purposes only. First Island Master, this man is too strong. This is all we can do. After Coldfeather entered the barrier, he finally heaved a sigh of relief, a bitter smile on his face. Nine Heavens had also recovered a head. His face was pale and his lips were covered in blood. The two island lords have suffered greatly, Guan Yuan said ruefully. I will definitely kill Zhao Wenjuan to avenge you. What? The two of them were stunned. They didn't understand. They didn't die, so why would they talk about revenge? But the next moment, they were scared out of their wits and said in horror, First Island Master, what are you doing? A huge dragon head appeared with red eyes. It opened its mouth and swallowed the two of them. How could the two of them still have the strength to resist? After letting out a blood-curdling screech, he was completely dead. Creak. 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 The sound of bones being crushed came from the dragon's mouth. Everyone felt a chill in their hearts. This man was too heartless and evil. The two island masters risked their lives to save him, but he actually ate them. Zhao Wenjuan's calm eyes also rippled as he said angrily, Guan Yuan, do you still have any humanity left in you? The dragon head slowly chewed the two of them up and swallowed them. Its eyes were filled with endless ferocity as it said in a cold voice, human nature? Zhao Wenjuan, you forced me to do this. If we don't eat them, the three of us will die. Instead of the three of them being killed by you, I might as well endure the humiliation and live, borrowing their power to kill you. Do you think I feel good about killing my own brother? His hands suddenly formed a strange seal and he spoke in the dragon language. Ancient manhwa characters flew out from the ruo wind between his eyebrows and circled around him. Zhao Wenjuan's expression changed drastically. He had used his sword technique twice. He had thought that he would definitely kill Guan Yuan. Even if he had missed by a bit, he still had the strength to use a third sword. However, there was only one sword left. Nine Heavens and Coldfeather were both 8 stars martial emperor powerhouses, and Guan Yuan's body had already undergone a certain transformation. The advantage he had gained earlier had been greatly reduced after he swallowed the two of them. Especially the golden light that was emitted from the center of Guan Yuan's brows, which made people feel a burst of fear. Yunxiao's face was also solemn as he stared at the change between Guan Yuan's eyebrows. This was the 5th supreme grade profound artifact after the Divine Realm Tablet, Cauldron of Mountain and River, Armillary Sphere, and Noah's Ship. These legendary items that were rarely seen in 10,000 years had appeared in this era one after another. There must have been a change in fate. The Amitba in between Guan Yuan's brows projected the image of a golden lotus, on which there was a faint chanting of Sanskrit. His face became solemn, as if he was a god that could not be violated. This sacred scene formed a strong contrast with his previous dirty behavior, making everyone somewhat unable to adapt psychologically. All laws are like dreams and bubbles, like fog and lightning, and should be observed like this. He chanted in the dragon language and formed a seal with his hands. In an instant, the heavens and earth changed drastically as thousands of auspicious clouds gathered. The entire sky was filled with the image of a cloud dragon, and it was a joyous occasion. Zhao Wenjuan's expression changed drastically. A great sense of danger spread in his heart. He had calculated step by step, but he did not expect that in the end, it was all destroyed by Nine Heavens and Coldfeather. Such a strange phenomenon appeared in the hands of Guan Yuan, and the situation was completely reversed. Fifth Island Master, accept the punishment for betraying me. Guan Yuan let out a cold shout, and an incantation seal shot out from his hand. That boundless power of the phenomenon rolled down. Zhao Wenjuan's expression was complicated. His years of planning had turned into nothing. His face was cold and stern. He raised the sword in his hand high, and boundless sword will and sword light spread out. His entire body was a sword, and he formed his own heaven and earth. Wailing sword rain wind evil tune. A storm was stirred up in the sea of swords, forming a huge sword shape that stabbed at the boundless phenomenon that was pressing down. Boom. The sword force pierced into the sky, and the storm in the sky began to wreak havoc. The auspicious signs disappeared, and the sky became somewhat dark and heavy. Are they evenly matched? Yunxiao muttered to himself. Bo Yuqing's strength shouldn't be this little, what's going on? Who's Bo Yuqing? Shui Xian asked in confusion. You don't know him, Yunxiao said impatiently. He's not your acquaintance. Shui Xian was immediately annoyed and stared at him coldly, her face full of anger. Yunxiao's face darkened. He quickly turned his head away, not wanting to meet her eyes. Guang Yuan's maniacal laughter came from the sky. Zhao Wenjuan, the stronger you are, the more this lord likes you. You will become the first stepping stone on my path to revenge. You should feel incomparably honored. The guests and Bai Ming Kongtian also stopped. The two of them looked at each other from a distance, both of them panting. The smiles on the guests' faces did not fade, while Bai Ming Kongtian's face grew livid and violent. Yunxiao was clearly right in front of him, but he could not kill him. Moreover, as his strength gradually recovered, judging from the previous battle, even he was not sure if he could kill him. As the two of them were on guard against each other, they would occasionally glance out of the corner of their eyes at the battle between Guang Yuan and Zhao Wenjuan. They were both endlessly shocked. Zhao Wenjuan's sea of sword qi protected his body. No matter how the strange phenomenon surged, it was split apart by the sword light and could not hurt him at all. His eyes flickered and he said in a deep voice, Guang Yuan, today's battle will not have a conclusion. The rest is meaningless. Why don't we have a good discussion? Guang Yuan sneered, negotiate? You're too dangerous. Not killing you won't be enough to put me at ease. Zhao Wenjuan said indifferently, I'm in danger. What about you? There were no eternal enemies in the world, nor were there eternal friends. There were only eternal interests. You're a smart person, you should know how to choose. Humph. If I let you go, then wouldn't the two island masters of 9 heavens and Feiyang have died in vain? Guang Yuan said coldly. Zhao Wenjuan said sternly, do you take their deaths to heart? If they didn't block an attack for you and provide you with food, you would have been killed by me. What right do you have to talk to me? From this perspective, their deaths are of great significance to you. Guang Yuan's expression was dark and uncertain. Zhao Wenjuan's words were very reasonable. At this moment, it was indeed a bad idea to fight until both sides were injured, but he had just eaten 2 island masters. If he cooperated with this person, it would make those onlookers look down on him too much. Zhao Wenjuan did not panic, as if he had a card up his sleeve. Sure enough, the strange phenomenon in the sky gradually dissipated, and the clear sky was soon restored. Guang Yuan revealed a savage smile and said, Zhao Wenjuan, you really do understand me. It's just that the content of the discussion will depend on whether I'm interested or not. Everyone felt a chill in their hearts. They increasingly felt that this Guang Yuan was ruthless and not simple. Under such circumstances, he was still able to turn from an enemy into a friend. This proved that this person did not have any principles to speak of in order to achieve his goals, and was completely unscrupulous. Yunxiao's face flickered, this is bad. He thought, if these two cooperate, it will be the end of everyone on the island. Zhao Wenjuan smiled indifferently and put away his long sword. His lips moved slightly and he directly sent a secret voice transmission. Guang Yuan's cold and stern expression suddenly changed greatly, almost directly turning into his dragon form. It was obvious that his mind had been greatly shaken. With a furious cry, he roared, this is true. The entire sky trembled under these 4 words. Zhao Wenjuan chuckled. Of course it's true. Otherwise, how would I know? Why would I travel thousands of miles to come to the East Sea? Damn it! Guang Yuan bellowed in rage, his eyes spewing out endless flames of fury as he said in a cold voice, Brother Guangxian, I've returned from hell to kill you. A wave of boundless anger soared into the sky, and even the sky changed color. The hearts of all the people on the island trembled, and each and every one of them revealed a look of horror. King Guangxian? Don't tell me it's Yingluo? Heavens! What is the identity of this first island master? There was an internal strife in the palace of Donghai for decades, but it was quelled at a very fast speed. It's said that it was defeated. Arg. Could it be that the first island master is the source of the internal strife, the elder brother of the king of the East Sea, Guangxian, Guangyuan? I heard the fifth island master call his name just now. It seems to be Guangyuan. Everyone felt a chill run down their spines. They had not expected the owner of Xiankong Island to be a member of the royal family of the Eastern Sea, the man who had once ruled the entire Eastern Sea, the Lord Guangyuan. Everyone began to feel a sense of fear in their hearts, worried about their fate. Zhao Wenjuan said calmly, "First Island Lord, this is what I have heard. With my help, it is not empty talk to want revenge. As for my condition, it's very simple." His voice disappeared, and he transmitted his voice again. Yunxiao frowned, feeling very curious. He stared at Zhao Wenjuan's lips, wanting to read the content, but he ended up failing. Not only did the other party use secret sound transmission, but he also used a dark technique to change the shape of his mouth. He sighed in his heart. Both of them were unparalleled geniuses, and they were both top experts. They were both extremely dangerous figures. Now that they had joined forces and had a supreme-grade Xian artifact, the Lord of the Eastern Sea was in deep trouble. After Guangyuan heard Zhao Wenjuan's voice transmission, he revealed a suspicious expression and said, "Aren't you afraid that I'll go back on my word after taking revenge?" Zhao Wenjuan laughed. "Our goals are not in conflict. In fact, we're first tier to begin with. In addition, I'm betting, and so are you, First Island Lord." "I like to work with smart people." Guangyuan revealed a sinister smile. Zhao Wenjuan placed his hands behind his back and regained the graceful and elegant demeanor he had when he was the fifth island master. Perhaps he had hidden for too long, he had already forgotten his original appearance. As the two of them unexpectedly joined forces, everyone felt a chill on their backs. "Fifth Island Master, how do you think we should clean up this mess on the island?" Guangyuan said with a smile. Zhao Wenjuan stood quietly and said, "As the First Island Lord likes. But, you can't kill that Li Yunxiao. Leave him to me." Guangyuan frowned and said, "Yunxiao has a large number of profound-level weapons with him. They are enough to restore the power that I have lost. Those profound-level weapons are mine. I can give you the person." Zhao Wenjuan did not hesitate and said, "Sure, but the cauldron of mountain and river must be mine." "All right." Guangyuan acknowledged, and immediately laughed madly. He roared, "All the food, come into my mouth." A dragon's roar soared into the sky, and Guangyuan transformed into the body of a true dragon. He charged towards the cultivators on the island with his mouth wide open. Zhao Wenjuan's eyes narrowed as he stared at Yunxiao and walked over step by step, saying coldly, "Young Master Yunxiao, who is the person under your skin?" Yunxiao felt a chill run down his spine. After eating a lot of heavenly materials and earthly treasures, he had only recovered less than 20% of his power. If his opponent made a move, he would be killed in an instant. Moreover, the other party's mental strength had directly locked onto him. This mental strength was even stronger than when he had fought with him before. There was no way to escape. "What do you think, Bo Yuqing?" Yunxiao said with a wry smile. Zhao Wenjuan's entire body trembled. His eyes suddenly burst with a brilliant light and a monstrous killing intent. Not far away, Baiming Kongtian's expression also changed greatly. He looked at Zhao Wenjuan in disbelief, as if he had just remembered something. Zhao Wenjuan's aura was extremely violent. It fluctuated with the changes in his emotions, but he eventually calmed down. He stared at Yunxiao and said, "You're really that person? Do you think there's anyone else in the world who can perform that sword and ice sorcery?" Yunxiao laughed. "Besides me?" Zhao Wenjuan's body trembled. Baiming Kongtian's face was ashen, as if he had seen something terrible. He felt uncomfortable. Shui Xian, Bin Chen, and the rest could not understand what they were saying and frowned. "It's you. But why are you like this?" After the shock, Zhao Wenjuan calmed himself down and looked at Yunxiao up and down, a little puzzled. However, he could still accept it when this kind of thing happened to Gu Feiyang, a madman. You think I want to? Yunxiao smiled wryly. Everyone in the world thought I was dead. But you, why are you like this? Zhao Wenjuan also laughed bitterly. The light in his eyes flickered continuously, as if he was thinking of something. I'm very curious about the deal between you and Guangyuan, Yunxiao said with a smile. I wonder if there's any possibility of a deal between us? Oh. Is Lord Feiyang trying to save his life? Zhao Wenjuan couldn't help but reveal a strange smile. Then, he couldn't help but laugh. I can't believe that an all-powerful, titled martial sovereign can have such a weak side. Everyone was shocked as they looked at Yunxiao in horror, not understanding what Zhao Wenjuan meant. Was Yunxiao a titled martial sovereign? They all shook their heads in disbelief. Only Bai Mingkongtian's face was drained of blood, and he was almost on the verge of collapsing. At this moment, he no longer had any doubts. Really? Yunxiao said with a wry smile, is it really alright for Mr. Yu Qing to reveal my identity like this? You're the junior brother of Lu Tsongzi, the leader of the Sea of Soul formation, and the last disciple of Chu Xingfeng. Please mind your integrity. As soon as this identity was revealed, everyone's face turned pale with horror. If they did not understand Yunxiao's identity, they knew the meaning of Lu Tsongzi's identity. Zhao Wenjuan, who was also Bo Yuqing, narrowed his eyes and a cold light flashed. He said coldly, Lord Feiyang, I really can't do anything to you. However, I must get the cauldron of mountain and river. If you want to save your life, you should hand it over first. Bo Yuqing walked up step by step, the aura on his body condensing as he pressed forward. Yunxiao smiled wryly. This time, he really had no way out. The calabash little King Kong and the big crocodile stood in front of Yunxiao and roared at Bo Yuqing ferociously. Water deity also hurriedly summoned 3 golden armored guards to stand in front of Yunxiao and said, back off. Your Highness water deity, let me take the cauldron of mountain and river first, then I'll let out some of your blood. Bo Yuqing chuckled. He looked at Yunxiao with a cold smile and said, it seems that Sir Feiyang is not willing to submit, and must force me to use some rough actions. Clang. The sword in his hand appeared, and he slashed out with a sword light. The gourd little King Kong roared and threw a punch in the air. The white flames on his fist danced and covered the space. What? This is Yingluo. Bo Yuqing's eyes revealed a look of shock, as if it was unimaginable. He said in horror, this is a swan and ice fiend heart flame. His eyes almost popped out of their sockets, and his entire person seemed to be in a daze. Bang! His sword light directly cut on the fist wind of the gourd little King Kong, directly destroying the ice fiend heart flame, and forcing the gourd little King Kong to retreat. The ice fiend heart flame can only be born when the rainbow stones are combined. You have a rainbow stone on you. Bo Yuqing's expression changed, his calm demeanor completely gone as he roared and charged forward, his face turning extremely ferocious. Yunxiao was taken aback. Bo Yuqing was the disciple of Hu Xingfeng, and it was this ice fiend heart flame that had scared him away. So, it was not strange that his disciple recognized it. Roar! The giant crocodile suddenly roared, opened its mouth, and pounced. Get lost! Bo Yuqing was extremely excited at this moment. He suddenly slashed out with his sword, splitting the big crocodile in half with a boom. The giant crocodile disintegrated, turning into particles that rained down on them. It's actually Tiandang Hazy, it seems like you refined that Montenegro. Only then did Bo Yuqing realize that the big crocodile wasn't simple. He sneered and pointed in the air with his left hand. An extremely strong mental power rippled out and sucked in those black pieces. The next moment, all the black pieces appeared 100 meters away. There were 5 mental prisons in the air, separating the particles and preventing them from condensing. The countless black particles kept attacking the spiritual prison, but they could not get out. At this time, the gourd little King Kong roared again and threw a punch. Although the fist force was mighty, without the ice fiend heart flame, it was nothing in Bo Yuqing's eyes. However, Bo Yuqing was extremely wary and didn't dare to let the gourd little King Kong get close. With a loud shout, a wave of mental power rushed over and instantly imprisoned the gourd little King Kong. Yunxiao was very depressed. This man's spiritual power was stronger than his, and he had dared to hold back in the battle of spiritual power. Unless he used the moon pupil, he was no match for this man. Lord Feiyang, quickly tell me the rainbow stone and the method to control the ice fiend heart flame. I can let you leave safely with the cauldron of mountain and river. Bo Yuqing took a step forward, his face almost touching Yunxiao's, his face filled with desire. Suddenly, their expressions changed, and they looked up at the sky. An extremely powerful force descended and blasted toward them. Moreover, that power contained a powerful spatial seal that directly locked the two of them. That's Luo. Bo Yuqing's expression changed greatly. The clouds in the sky parted, and it was actually the Baiming family's 9th grade warship that had entered the island. Baiming Lai Feng and the disciples of the Baiming family were standing on the battleship. When they were still at the treasure exhibition, Baiming Kongtian had sent a voice transmission to Dark North Lai Feng, telling him to find an opportunity to leave the island and drive the starship in. Baiming Kongtian was overjoyed. Attack at full force. Kill Li Yunxiao. He roared. Kill Li Yunxiao at all costs. A cold gleam flickered in Bo Yuqing's eyes. At this moment, he would rather die than let Yunxiao die. However, the main array of the 9th grade battleship was extremely powerful. Even if he took it head-on, he would lose a layer of skin. With his strength, he could easily break the seal and get out, but it would be difficult to take Yunxiao with him. He instantly calmed down and stuck the sword under his feet. He put his hands on the hilt and shouted, returning blade armor strip. Clang. Tens of thousands of sword chi bloomed out, and a sword chi cliff suddenly formed, completely enveloping the two of them. Not far away, Shui Xian was shocked. She wanted to help, but she was powerless. Fortunately, Baiming Lai Feng avoided her when he attacked. Boom. The powerful attack landed on the sword chi precipice, directly crushing the wall shadow and distorting it. However, the boundless force spread along the precipice in all directions. Bo Yuqing's entire face turned deathly white. He had already used 3 sword techniques against Guangyuan previously, and now that he had suffered a great loss of vitality, directly taking on the attack of the 9th tier warship's main array, his entire person was shaken until he was dizzy, and his mind was buzzing. Yunxiao smiled in the sword chi cliff and said, Brother Yuqing, it's been hard on you. Bo Yuqing looked at his smile and almost vomited blood, but when he thought of the rainbow stone and the ice fiend heart flame, his whole body became hot and he gritted his teeth to hold on. Boom boom boom. The bombardment of the main array had finally passed. Bo Yuqing coughed up a mouthful of blood. He spread out his left hand, and a stream of mental power spread out, wrapping Yunxiao and himself in it and disappearing from where they were. The mental prisons on the Calabash King Kong and the big crocodile also lost their effect instantly. When they came out, they could not find Yunxiao, so they stood in the air, dumbfounded and confused. Shui Xian was anxious. She pointed to a spot in the sky and said, over there. She was afraid that Bo Yuqing would take Yunxiao away. Don't even think about leaving. Baiming Kongtian's face darkened, and he suddenly struck out with a move, my life is boundless. In order to kill Yunxiao, he would even throw away his old life. The officials stood quietly at the side, watching with cold eyes. At this moment, the Xiankong Island was in chaos, and the situation was completely unclear. Boom. Bo Yuqing and Yunxiao were thrown out by the move. In order to protect Yunxiao, Bo Yuqing was injured again. He coughed up a mouthful of blood and his face was pale as he shouted at the people below, First Island Master. At this moment, it was already a mess below. A large number of the sea race had been devoured by Guangyuan, and there were still some who were struggling to hold on, including Liao Yangbing and the other human race martial artists. The moment the 9th grade warship appeared, all the human warriors were overjoyed. They felt that their savior had arrived. At this moment, Guang Yuan had just killed the Sea tribe member who used the nine-colored sky conch. Not only did he eat him, but the power of the nine-colored sky conch was also completely absorbed by Ru Wen. The more he killed, the more courageous he became. What? Hearing Bo Yuqing's cry for help, Guang Yuan's eyes narrowed, and he stared fiercely at the warship in the sky. Baiming Lifeng's heart also trembled. Guang Yuan's stare made his hair stand on end, and he hurriedly started the battleship, wanting to bombard Guang Yuan. Yunxiao. Baiming Kongtian roared, target locked on Li Yunxiao. Everyone on the warship was shocked. They had sneaked out to start the warship before, so they did not know Yunxiao's identity. However, he felt that Baiming Kongtian's attitude was extremely strange. Previously, he was desperately trying to protect Baiming Kongtian, but now, he was desperately trying to kill him. What was he trying to do?